All right, let's do the tutorial for Oats and Peas and Beans, the advanced tune. So this one isn't too far off from the basic version. We're still working with the same notes, but we're just going to hop back and forth between some of our strings here. So we're starting off with this F, where we have that same pattern of 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, and instead of that fourth beat being a rest, we have 4 and. So happy, so happy. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. All right, so when we're doing this, we have this F here, the second finger, and we're going to then go to the A, but we're not going to lift up that second finger. We're going to tunnel that. Leave the second finger on the D string and make sure that we have the room. We're going to roll those fingers forward so that we can have space for that A to ring out, and we're going to return right to it. So only our bow is doing the work for us. Then we go down that scale, that mini scale, F, E, D, then open A, D, F, F. So that's our D major section right there. That's all D major arpeggio, F sharp, A, F, D, A. That E is a little carryover right there. All right, so then when we go on to this section, we have that same rhythm again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. And now we have this G major arpeggio thing going on right here. So we have this third finger, and we're going to have that first finger come behind, and we're going to go right to it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to leave that third finger there, and we're going to pull that first finger behind onto that A string there. So G, G, B, B, G, F, E, A, E. So there's no reason to lift up this first finger because we're going right back to it. So leave that down. All right, so let's study this section here. F, D, G, D, A, D, D. So all we're doing is second finger, open, third finger, open, A, D, D. Super easy. This is going to be at the lower half. As we get faster, it's going to go more to the center of the bow, but we're not there yet. We're still on the lower half. And this measure is just the same as the previous one. F, D, G, D, A, D, D. And this is mimicking the beginning. F, F, A, E, A, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3. Now I'm still going to leave this second finger down as I go over there, and then I'll switch to that one because it's still going to be resonating. We're going to get that sound, that D major chord sound with it. All right, so then we have our 9 to the end is just the same as the beginning. So let's pluck through it, and then we will play through it. We're first going to pluck through our Oats and Peas and Beans so that we can get our fingers in set, and then we're going to work our fingers, our bow. So I'm setting my 2 fingers on my D string, and I'm going to leave enough space so that I can roll forward and allow my A string to ring. So normally my fingers aren't precisely only on that one string. There's a little bit of hangover because there's no reason to really stress my hand out or make it too tight. So all I'm going to do, F, F, A, I'm just going to roll over, making sure that the pads of my finger aren't bumping that A and allowing it to ring that way. So setting those fingers, F, F, A, F, E, ready and go, and F, F, A, F, E, D, A, D, then F again. And then this is where I want to get into this G major arpeggio feel for our left hand. So we're playing G, G, B, B, G, and I want you to leave that third finger behind or on top while that first finger comes behind. That's first finger, that's all it's going to do. So 3, 3, 1, 1, 3. So let's prepare our fingers to do this. How we're going to do this is put your first finger on your A string, and then we're going to tap our third finger on that A string with it. And we're going to feel just where that third finger goes. And so that's D, B, D, B, or D, D, B, D, back forth. All right. And then we're going to leave that first finger down there on the A string, and we're going to tap that third finger over on that D string right where that third finger. So it's just going back and forth right there and leaving it set down. And now I can pop those fingers back and forth. D, B, G, B, B, B. This is one part of our G major arpeggio, and it's going to really pay off. So in that third measure, we're playing G, G, B, B, G, F, E. So let's do that again. G, and then that first finger is going to come behind. G, G, pull behind, B, D, G, F, E, A, E. So let's try that whole first line again. Ready and go. And F, F, A, F, E, D, A, D, F, F, G, G. Pull that first finger behind. B, B, G, F, E, A, E, E, E. So now we're going up this little mini scale, but putting a pedal note, that D, right in between. F, D, G, D, A, D, D. And I usually prefer my students to put all their fingers down. So if we have two down, the second finger down, we're going to have that both fingers. If we have the third finger down, we're going to have all three fingers, because it just really helps the hand to have really good posture. So from 5, ready, and F, D, G, D, A, D, D, F, D, G, D, A, D, D. And I totally condone using an open A for this, because this gives us a really nice tinny sound that we want for our fiddles. And then our bow is doing the work for us. We don't have to worry about that fourth finger too much, but we will in the future. And then to finish it up, at measure 7, F, F, A, then I lift that second finger there. So I'm leaving that down. F, F, A, then I lift that finger. E, A, D, 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 D. All right, let's pluck that whole second line. Ready and go, and F, D, G, D, A, D, D, F, D, G. Leave it down. Just the first finger. All right, now let's do this with the bow. And keep in mind, half, 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 whole, 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 half, half, whole. 1 and 2. So that's what we're working with. Make sure that you're doing the basic version before this so that you can feel even more comfortable doing it. All right, so the first measure, I'm leaving my second finger down. F, F, A, F, E. It's just that simple. Just leaving it, and I can roll my fingers in towards, bring this elbow in so that I'm clearing that A string. Ready, again, and go, and... Now I'm going to do G, G, B, B, 3, 3, 1, and it's just that first finger that's coming over. G, G, just the one over. Back over to the G. All right, so let's do that third measure again. 3 to 1, ready, and go, and... Let's do that whole first line together. Ready, and go, and... All right, now for 5, F, D, G, D, A, D, D. Let's go for it. 5 and 6, ready, and go, and... All half bows, don't work too hard. All right, and then this is like the beginning, F, F, A. Then I lift my first finger, ready, and... All right, let's do all of that second line. Ready, and go, and... Now let's take the entire thing, and we're going to do it at 70 beats per minute so that I don't try to rush or slow down. I'm using the metronome. It's a very handy dandy tool. I have a video on how to use it and the benefits and all that. So whole thing, 1 and 2, and let's slow down just a little bit so that we can leave those fingers down, because that's going to be the most important part of training this. We need to train that hand to do exactly what we want and not rush this. So you can take this as slow as you need to so that you can teach your hands how to be in sync with each other. So actually this is at 65. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, ready and go. And whole bow. Whole half. Half. Behind. Leave it down. And use a metronome to help you speed this up, and as we go faster and faster, we're going to be approaching the center mark of our bow. I like to have a tape there to let you know exactly where that is. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so we're just going to get tighter and tighter into that, and I'm going to have a video for 3 different speeds to help you out. Good luck and happy practice.